Good evening, friends, followers, and channel members. Happy Sunday. It's our Iconic Journeys flight, episode number 18, this one. And could this be our final episode of this series? We are only 30 miles away or so from Miami Airport. So, realistically, this could conclude the end of the I-95, which will be kind of sad but also amazing at the same time. Thankfully we've got some nice weather for it as well. I think, although I'm not really up on my US geography, I think, doesn't the I-95 turn into Route 1? I guess we'll have a look at the map a little bit later on as well. Good evening to everyone who's already in the chat. Terry, James, Steve, Ollie, Dark Fury, Christian. Here's your funny music, mate. Pete Mosley, good evening to you. David Armich, hello from Leeds. And Egg Andy, you're on your way back from Manchester after enjoying your first day of plane spotting in real life. Oh, welcome to the Geek Club, Gandhi. They've had a great day at Manchester as well. They're gorgeous weather, and if you were in the viewing park, they had a classic car rally as well today. How do I know this? Well, not because I was there, but because I was enjoying the live stream from Airliners Live at this morning when they were at Manchester watching the aircraft coming in. They were coming in on runway 5 left as well, weren't they, today? So a tad unusual for a change. Prevailing winds, not the norm, of course. But yeah, it made for some really great close-up shots of the aircraft taxiing around. So that was really nice to see. Nick, celebrating 14 months of memberships. Thank you, Nick. I did have a great holiday. It was, well, you know, the kids enjoyed it. That's the main thing. I'm not going to say I'm nice and relaxed after it. That just isn't true. I'll be relaxed next week when I go back to work. Dr. Magic, good evening to you. Mark, J. Hogg, Arthur, Roland, hello. Wayne, good evening. We're on the North Europe server, as always. Ewald on Twitch says that's a small A320. Yeah, obviously. For those of you who are new to our Sunday night Iconic Journeys flights, we do absolutely nothing by the book. Absolutely nothing by the book. We're here purely to enjoy ourselves in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator, VFR flying all the way. We're just going to bring up Google Maps basically and follow this. In fact, let me just get the satellite on. That makes it a lot easier. So where are we? Well, we are where we left off a couple of weeks back. We're at Pompano Beach Air Park. We're going to take off, and the I-95, as you can see, is just here. Now, do we stick to the I-95 and see all the way through? We've got a lot of great stuff that we're going to be able to see today. We pass over, if I just zoom out a little bit more, we've got Fort Lauderdale International Airport, of course, down the I-95. I believe Hollywood, yeah, Hollywood's next. Where on earth is the Hollywood sign? I have no idea. Someone's going to have to point that out to us. Give us road directions. We'll find it when we get there, but we need to be able to find the Hollywood sign, don't we? We've obviously got Hollywood Beach, we've got all of this, and then the I-95, if we keep going down from the Golden Glades, keep going, we eventually end up in Miami, and then at Miami, is that where the I-95 ends? I believe so. I think that is the end of the I-95 right here. And then, yeah, it turns into Route 1. We'll see how long it takes us to get there. We may try and carry on a little bit further. A lot of you have said it would be nice to try and see the Florida Keys. That may spill over into a bonus episode then maybe next week, touching out at Key West. We'll see how we do. So let's get back to where we are. Where are we? I've gone far too far up. Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach. There it is. So that's basically how we're going to find our way around this evening. Google Maps, as always. Thomas Florence, good evening to you as well. Good to have you on board. Plane Spotter, LA Kids, good afternoon, good evening. Christian, is that the wrong Hollywood? Of course it's the wrong Hollywood. It's the Hollywood that's meant to be on the Atlantic coast, right? Joke. The Hollywood sign's in California. Goodness me. Well, I guess if you can have two Sheffields in a country the size of England, then you can have two Hollywoods in the size of the USA. Guess we're not going to nip and see the Hollywood sign. So Nick, the Hollywood sign, originally the Woodland sign, is an American landmark and culture and icon overlooking Hollywood. Nick, are you just copying and pasting from Wikipedia there? It's been a long week. I told you I need to get back to work for a rest. Should we jump on board before anything else goes wrong? Let's Control E our way out of this. I believe we've got other people flying next. Oh, good lord. Alright. Who brought a Lufthansa 747 to a GA sightseeing tour? That's going to provide some entertainment at least. We don't care what runway we take off from, we're just going to take off. Let's get some lights on as well. And release the parking brakes. Spin her around. Nick, there are... I'm almost certain of this. Call up Wikipedia. I'm almost certain there are two Sheffields in the UK. The other one's down south somewhere. Yeah, Andrew, GA doesn't stand for gigantic aircraft. Poco the Cat as well, thank you for subscribing. Right. Let's fight. Let's taxi underneath the Lufthansa, shall we? Jayhawk says there's one in Cornwall. Is that where the other Sheffield is? Is it in Cornwall? I think I've seen a sign for it once. Why are those taxi lights right in the middle of the taxi lane? We obviously don't need full length for our taxi, so we'll jump on with an intersection departure. So hope everyone's had a good weekend. Once we get airborne, we shall fly westbound, pick up that I-95. Look at all the windsocks. I was going to turn left here and fly west straight out. We'll be semi-proper and we'll depart into the wind. Alexander asks how long is the flight. We normally do about an hour. We just keep going, basically. Okay, let's go. Gandhi, you've only just got signal. If you've ever done Manchester, Sheffield or back, it's constantly blackouts from the tunnels. Are you on the train, Gandhi? Okay, up we go. So, there in front of us is the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to turn back around in a minute. Grab hold of that I-95. I expect some nice scenery as well. If you remember how good the photogrammetry was of this area last time we finished this flight up here. It looked beautiful. There's the golf course we came and landed over last time we flew. So, if we fly back over our airfield, continue to climb, Route 811 should be beneath us in a second, and then we'll pick up the I-95. The Pompano Beach Baseball Complex is just beneath us, that's there. Air Gandhi, it was a very random decision at 9 AM this morning. Booked a ticket to Manchester Airport, walked around the visitors park, got some cracking EasyJet shots. What a great day. Oh, to be able to just take off and do that. So it's the North Dixie Highway that we can see just here. That's not the... Oh, hang on. That's the North Dixie Highway, just there. East Atlantic Boulevard is beneath us, I think, and here is the I-95 as we pick that back up. Here it is. Funnily enough, we never seem to get crash to desktops on the I-95 flights, which is interesting. Almost probably shouldn't say that, should we? Right, let's just get that aircraft up to a couple of thousand feet and then we'll look outside. Wrongway says it's a nice day to fly indeed. Dark Fury, I have said it now. I've said it because it just yeah, it just never seems to happen, does it? Not sure why. Right. We've got Starbucks down here. Quite windy, wasn't it, when we took off? You saw the windsock. Loving the graphics in an area of the Microsoft world that is as detailed as this. Evening Clouds, good evening. Yes, finally flying a small plane. We do most Sundays, my friend. Something a little bit different, completely VFR. Is there just me that wants to see some trains? I did get a crash data stuff after we tried after a sim update. Yeah, I remember that. That was well, that was annoying more than anything else. I can't remember how we fixed that. What we had to do to fix that, but a sim update completely crashed the PC, didn't it? Look at the wind. Look at that. Look, we're crabbing through. So the Mills Park Pond is what you can see just there. Look at that. Football pitch. Sorry, soccer pitch, if we're going to use the correct terminology. Here in the USA. Evening clouds, does it even look like it's glass windows in the cockpit? I mean, they have done an amazing job on some of the small airliners in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Really, really, they have done. If anyone wants floor and decor, that's what we have just here, as well as Broward Motorsports of Fort Lauderdale. In fact, where's Fort Lauderdale? We've got what looks like a baseball stadium as well over there. Oh, it's the Central Broward Park community. Just looking a little further ahead, there's a Walmart Super Saver coming up. Michael, what VFR charts am I using? Absolutely none. We are using Google Maps. I am just following Google Maps. We can see the Atlantic Ocean over there. Don't know if we should go a little closer to the coast. Have a little look. But I do think we are going to make it tonight. We've got Fort Lauderdale Airport coming up. We can just see in the distance now. There is Fort Lauderdale Airport. Wonder if we've got any live traffic coming in, because I do turn on live traffic for this. Christian, could we fly to Disney World? Where is Disney World? Michael, we're usually around about 2,000 feet when we're flying. Thomas, you've just finished your VFR piloting examination, and soon you're on the air on your own. I can think of nothing scarier than that first time. Do you all remember when you passed your car test? And for the first time you got in a car without an instructor. Can you remember how that felt? As though you were doing something incredibly naughty. Of course you weren't. You were fine, dandy and legal. But just for that first time it was something a bit different. Right, so we do have some live traffic showing down there. I don't have many USA Airlines installed, just the big ones. I think I can see a few Spirit Wings knocking about. Should we have a quick look while we're here? We may as well. As Raymond, you can confirm that there are trains on the line that went from Florida to Fort Lauderdale Airport to Miami a few years ago on it. Yeah, I just wish they were there in the sim. I think that would look fantastic. What else we got down there? That almost looks like an Iberia. Well, looks like a very small aircraft to be an Iberia. Is that JetBlue? I believe there's a JetBlue just there. And I'm not sure why, but it also randomly spawns some KLM aircraft in. And again, they look like 737s, so pretty certain they're not accurate. Oh, Christian, have we already passed Disneyland? Oh, I'm sorry, mate. So what is it? The Stranham River and the harbour of Fort Lauderdale, just there. So, doing a bit of sightseeing, particularly as we know we're going to be quite close to the end of our journey today. It's not smooth seas either with that wind. plenty of boats as well waiting to come in. Should we fly down the coast for a little bit? Might as well. And then we just need a landmark or such to pick up the I-95 again a little bit further down. Really glad we've got nice weather for this flight. We have to at least pick up the I-95 because we've got to find the end of it. Christian, all you see when looking down on this flight is pool after pool after pool. Well, when it's nice and warm, why not? So, where was it we passed? I don't know if it was the last stream or the stream before that. Where the retail value was incredibly high. I forget the name of it now. I'm just wondering what the retail value of these properties down here would be. Right, is this Sheridan Street? I think, and if I think we take Sheridan Street, I think this is Sheridan Street. Yeah, and if we take that, we can start to come back and find the I-95. Palm Beach, thank you, Nick. That's what I was trying to refer to. Palm Beach. So let's check out Christian's analysis. Yep, pool, more pools, little pools. But the fact we've got a flight simulator now that actually replicates the pools is just incredible. So we're going to just keep following Sheridan Street and eventually it meets back up with the I-95 just here. And then what looks like one of the smallest golf courses I've ever seen, the Sunset Golf Course, should be just off to our left in a moment. I think this is it, just here. Do you reckon that's 18 holes? Surely not. Or are they all par 3s? Maybe there's just one hole and 18 different teeing off points. Now just have a little look at the architecture over here. Look, all these little avenues and things that are all built in sort of semicircle, circling on whatever building that is just there. I believe actually it's the Broward County South Regional Courthouse. Oh, now there is a proper golf club. The Orangebrook Golf and County Club. That is indeed a proper golf course. Look at that. Just looking at how we're flying in the wind today. Some proper crabbing going on. The Aqua Golf Driving Range and Pro Shop. Aqua Golf, what is that? Does that mean the balls all end up at the bottom of the lake down? In fact, where is that? That's just down here, I think. Yeah, down here. Do they dredge it then for the golf clubs at the end? Thomas, I love how the water reflects in the sun. I think that is one of the Sim's best features, to help the water look as realistic as possible. Something I've not seen any other simulator do, or certainly not well. That is a lot. Are they houses or caravans, chalets, or one little pool? And then it's the Dr. Michael M. Kropp Senior High School down there that you can see. so many different bodies of water, isn't there? So apparently this is the I-95 Express. This is now a toll road through Florida. Is that the first time the I-95 has been a toll road that we've seen? Oh wow, can you imagine living on here? I mean, it does make people like me who live in England, who think that, you know, we've got some massive cities. You look at things like this and you just think, we are a complete pebble in the ocean compared to what we actually have. Because this is absolutely huge, this city. Millions of houses. Now the I-95 goes off here to the south, so let's make sure we follow the right road. We have done that before on this series, followed the wrong road for a little bit. Thomas, as long as there is no hurricane, everything's alright. Yes. Thomas Jefferson Middle School down there. Funnily enough, talking about America and how large areas are, I did hear on the radio this morning, I think it was on the west coast, that they are building a bridge now to allow wildlife to cross a 10-lane highway. Because let's face it, if you've got a 10-lane highway and wildlife's got to get across it, I don't like those odds. But apparently they're now building a bridge for the little fellas, so that's neat. I am just looking at Google Maps now, and I'm just lost in house after house, avenue after avenue, street after street, looking for some sort of landmarks. I'm guessing perhaps another school or something down there. So this will come up with a junction in a little bit. In fact, that is a landmark for us. It just deviates ever so slightly to the left, and I can just see that on the map now. Before that, there is a little river canal. And I believe that might actually be what it's called, Little River Canal. With Lake Arcola just here. Christian says we're almost there. Yep. LA kids, they've built the tunnels in. They have built tunnels in California to allow mountain lions to migrate safely. I think it was California, actually. And even Cloud says, to be honest, I don't really like the Microsoft Flight Simulator graphics like I like some of it, but not all because it's too shiny. Really? I'm quite happy with all of it, to be honest with you. If you've ever played Microsoft Flight Simulator 95 or before that, you will be very happy. Miami International coming up on the left. Sorry, right. I was just looking at that. I was thinking, really? Where? So that's a big intersection with the I-195. Little cloud there that we've just flown through. It is a nice day, isn't it? And I'm guessing it's a nice day in the real world. If you're in Florida. Loving the detail of such stuff like this. Look at that. You can actually see the lines on the pictures. Wonderful stuff. So do you reckon one day in the future, when computers become even more powerful, graphics such as this will be enhanced by, at low level flying, you're going to see little people walking around. We've already got some animated people in airports and things, but just makes you wonder, how far are they going to go? Should we have a look at the stadium? Might as well, a little bit of sightseeing. Christian, why do you think about GTA Vice City? Right, I remember Vice City. Yes, yeah. So, which team plays here, for those of you in the know? In the baseball park. Probably says it down the side, doesn't it, if we can see. I might be a little bit too overhead to actually find out. Gandhi says it would be cool to actually have passengers board the aircraft. Well, I think that is going to happen, because I forget who it was that actually they did have an add-on for FSX that did that, didn't they? It's the Miami Marlins. Thank you, Radio Man John. I have never heard of them. Are they famous? They can't be that famous. I honestly never heard of them. Miami Dolphins. Heard of those? Oh, now look at that. Is that a helipad? Down there. Yeah, then just imagine looking at this and seeing a train going across. It'd be fantastic. GSX. Thank you, Nick. I knew I knew you'd answer that. Yeah, GSX used to have passengers, didn't they? And this is downtown Miami. Welcome. Let's have a quick look around here. Doucheyet says it's Florida Marlins, not Miami Marlins. I am not going to argue because I have absolutely no idea. I bet we're going to have some nice detailed scenery as we fly here. Christian, you've just seen a sailboat for the first time. Picture on Discord. Excellent. We'll check that out a little bit later on. The real question would be, are the sailboats in my sim synced up with everybody else's? Oh, indeed. Look at that. And what's that down there? What is that? Is that a car? 007. I don't want to try too far away from the I-95 because it's what this whole series has been geared up towards in the end, isn't it? This sim's a thing of beauty. When I'm quiet here on stream, I'm just enjoying every single thing that I can see. It's stunning. Gandhi, do I know how much of the I-95 is left to go? Not very much. Not very much at all. A little bit turbulent there, to be honest. Oh, what happens to the road here? It's sunk. Pilot Paul says there was a jet outline on that white stadium building. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen jet outlines from satellite images. Thomas says, is anybody else excited for the next World Update? That's going to be Italy, isn't it? I am quite excited for that. Be interested to see what airports they bring with that. So I believe this is Alice Wainwright Park that you can see just there. That looks lots of trees, lots and lots of green foliage there. That is awesome, isn't it? What a view! Right, well, we'll continue round. Now we've inspected the buildings and buzzed the residents. Wayne says he loves Naples. That will be interesting. Naples Airport. I don't know if there's any scenery available for that. I would love to see Naples Airport included. Naples is one of the great airports to try and land at as well, because it's not straightforward. A little bit of terrain to think about. So that's probably one of the reasons I don't fly to it too often when we're doing our real ops flights, just because it's just a bit of a letdown, sadly. I shouldn't say that. None of the default airports are a letdown compared to previous incarnations of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But when you see things like the new Aerosoft Brussels airport, you think, wow, holy moly. And the guys, this is it. This is the end. The I-95 ends right here. This now becomes Route 1. So we have completed our I-95 journey. We are now on Route 1. US Highway 1. Christian, you flew to Madrid on Vatson for the first time today. What a taxi nightmare. Madrid is good fun. Gandhi, you've just opened your bag and remembered you purchased a little model of an East A320 Neo. Yeah, if you went into the aviation gift shop there at Manchester, you could spend an absolute fortune in there, couldn't you? Really could. Douche, we've done it. Quite right. The I-95 is now completed. And there it is. The end of the I-95. So we're going to continue following Route 1. We've got the University of Miami now beneath us. That's what we can see. Do you know what? I don't know why. I expected the University of Miami to be a little bit bigger. Maybe that's just a small campus, but then they've got buildings spread around the rest of the city. That's certainly the way it is for many universities here in the UK. Thomas, Madrid off block 12, departure time 12:40. Yeah, and then some. Dr. Magic needs to head to Manchester. Any tips? It depends why you're going, Dr. Magic. If you're going there on holiday, get there about 3 days early at the moment. Christian says we should now fly to Cuba. So we're now coming up to Miami-Dade, is it? Now perhaps someone again who is far more knowledgeable than me about the USA, in particular Florida. Is that where the Miami-Dade police are then based? I'm thinking for anyone that's watched CSI Miami, as I used to many years ago. Dr. Magic, you're going there just to spot and you're getting there by train. Good choice. I would say if you really want some good spotting, if they're landing 2-3 right, then the airport pub is a good shout. Get to Terminal 3, keep walking along the road at Terminal 3, you'll eventually come to the airport pub. Great beer garden, decent food, grab a beer, sit in the beer garden, and the aircraft fly also very, very close to you, coming to land on 23 right. And if they're taking off on that runway as well, and they're using full-length departures, you get really close and get blasted with the jets as well when they turn onto the runway. Dark Fury, how can you get lost in Terminal 1? I'm just very sad. I've been to Manchester for days out, literally walking through the terminal. Dark Fury, is Terminal 3 open now? I have no idea if it's open or not. Gandhi, you did it today, walk around to the visitor park. Yeah. Do you know that's something I've never done? Walked from the train station around to the visitor park. Pretty certain I'd get lost. Ryan Videos 94, Manchester Airport Pub is your local pub. Seriously, Ryan? That's your local? I think I'd be skint if that was my local. Gandhi says it was a fun little walk around and you get to see lots of aircraft starting engines. I've never gone to the south of the field. There's a little access road which you can get to on foot, where you can see runway 23 left quite clearly. Palmetto Golf Course is what you can see beneath us. It's got a river running through it. Water penalty. Ryan Videos, you're living into the tram station. Oh, are you on that? Are you on the main road? The main road with. And I always remember as a kid, my dad taking me, parking up on that main road. It was absolute chaos, and it was like that because Concorde was coming into land, and everyone parked up on that main road long before the tram was there, I think. And presumably parking restrictions. And the Concorde came in. Nicholas Children's Palmetto Bay. Another, I just keep calling out landmarks as I see them. So the Ronald Reagan Turnpike is what you're about to see crossing Route 1. There it is. Pete Mosley. Oh, well, you've just asked the question which I was trying to avoid. Which route next? Who knows? All I will say for certain is it will not be in America. Southland Mall is beneath us, that's what we can see there. That actually looks quite detailed, but also quite empty. Perhaps that image was taken first thing on a Monday morning. Dr. Magic, the M6. How iconic. Dark Fury M1, M18. M62. I think we have different versions of the phrase iconic. I was just trying to find this on the map. I've completely lost my bearings as to where we are. Which airport is that I see? Homestead Base. Oh, is that a military airport? Right. Goodness me, that's colourful. Nick says the iconic M25. Dark Fury says that's not iconic. It wants shutting off. I have actually lost where we are. Oh, this is a large pause. Oh, there we go. That was an interesting pause. I'm presuming it's because of the amount of data. It's still streaming and downloading. Have we bypassed Florida Airport, just out of interest? I don't recall seeing it. Christian, you still think we should follow the Chinese wall? Is that in the sim? Serious question. Is it in the simulator? I mean, we all know how very secretive they would be. Ryan, you thought it was going to be a CTD then? Well, it crossed my mind. We've got a lot of things being downloaded at the moment. We're on multiplayer, we've got live traffic. So, potentially. Dr. Magic says follow the path of the Nile. There are lots of options to us. Terry, sadly you have to go up very early for work tomorrow. Catch up with another time. Thanks very much, Terry, for coming on by. You've seen us through at the end. That's the main thing. Thank you so much for dropping on by. Dark Fury says Australia. That could be interesting. I think it's got to be somewhere where we've had maybe some sim updates. Remember, wherever we do it, it's going to be it's probably going to be quite a few weeks, and we're going to be flying low and slow. So you want something interesting to look at. Let's be fair. I think as a first flight, a first choice for this series, the Iconic Journey series, I think the I-95 has delivered. Every single time. We've had stretches where there hasn't really been too much to look at, but it still boulders over at times. Dr. Magic, follow classic Top Gear routes. Are they on Google? Right, Arthur, yeah, the Everglades are ahead. Florida, with lots of supporters, is behind us. US Highway 1. Interestingly enough, the Day Juvenile Residential Facility is it's just down there. Pete Mosley says it's been great, we've done a cracking job. Well, the community as well is what really helps bring it all together, because I have learnt so much doing this series about things that I obviously didn't know regarding the USA, and that was essentially why we set up this series, to fly places that I was unfamiliar with, and I knew you guys wouldn't let us down. There's those of you that are coming to the chat, new to the channel since we started doing this series, from the USA. We've had people, we've flown over people's houses during this first season, telling us all about the local area. We've started up right at the northern border with Canada. Very little, very green, very green countryside, lots of forests and things, and then bit by bit we creep in and out of different cities. We've done Boston, we've done New York, we've flown over Manhattan, of course. We've seen areas of the country which are just flooded with different churches and spiritual, religious communities, things like that. We've then obviously more recently had golf courses. What else did we play bingo with? Lots of distribution centres. It's wonderful. Thomas, can I try and twerk with the aircraft? Don't do that if you've just eaten. LA kids, yeah, lots of McDonald's as well. I-Not Panda, how many flights are there left? Well, we've completed the I-95. You can obviously see the photogrammetry now as well dropped off, as we're in, what was it you said, Christian? Crocodile territory. In fact, funnily enough, we're coming up on the Crocodile Lake National Wildlife Refuge Centre at the end of here. Peter says the clouds are building. Yeah, quite right. Now, interesting thing is, where on earth would we land? Let's have a quick look. I don't think Google is completely telling me the truth when I search for airports on here. There doesn't look like too many airports, to be honest with you. The airport marina, I'm not sure there's an airport there. Now, if we had skis, this would be easy. Evening Clouds, I don't think it's fair to say developers are just money hungry. There's a hell of a lot of work goes into creating programs for creating aircraft and software and things for things like Microsoft Flight Simulator, particularly if they're going to be accurate. I mean, the exception to the rule, of course, is the fly-by-wire team. Hundreds of developers that are pulled together to create something amazing. Then you've got the Headwind team doing the 330 and the Salty mod for the 747. Matthew, there's a private strip on the Barrier Island, is there? Let's see if we can find it. I can see a few water strips, but... Oh, now. The Ocean Reef Club has a private airliner right next to the... right next to a golf course. I think that is a nice choice to end. So just have a look at this for a minute. Look at this. And I really hope we see this in the sim. Does it actually say private on it? Look at that. I've never seen anything like that. The Ocean Reef Club Airport actually says private embedded into the runway. That is amazing. I think that is a good shout. I think we deserve to land at a private bit of land. All we have to do is find it. So that's going to be off over here, and I think we need to, yeah, as Christian's just said, we probably need to break off towards the east, start to follow the land. So let's, so just checking, this is where it comes round. That's Highway 1, remember, and that meets up with the Crocodile National Park. Good luck to anyone that works there. Look at the way the water changes colour. That's awesome. So Arthur, yeah, that's what we're going for. 07 Foxtrot Alpha. The private island. Thank you, Matthew. LA Kid says maybe a contest to select the next iconic flight. Could do, couldn't we? Definitely need to come up with something. Look at that. A hint of blue sky and the blue reflection. Wonderful. So, do we think that airport might be just here? We'll head towards that. What a great place to finish. So Matthew says we're probably over Barnes Sound, so maybe about 40 degrees to the left. That's fine. We'll pick up the road here and then we'll head up. And Egg Andy, oh, thank you so much, mate, for your 449 super chat. It says big thanks for the awesome I-95 tour, Gav, and your awesome community for all of the insider information on their local communities. It's been great. Thank you so much, Egg Andy. Really, really kind of you. But it has been, as I said, great to have the locals, if you like, come on through each different part of the I-95 tour and give us information about it. It's been fantastic. But thank you, again, it really kind of you. Right, we're going to pick up the road here and we're going to head north. And this will lead us right to the end, where we should find our private airstrip. Once again, the water's looking rather rough down there. What episode is this? Is this 18? Has it taken us 18 weeks? Well, it's been more than that, obviously, because we have had to have weeks off when I've not been available on a Sunday evening. But I think it has taken us 18 episodes to get down from one end to the other. And how many miles is the I-95? I think it says it in the video write-up. I can't remember. Wester MRK says this has been crazy fun. Big shout out, more of this. We will be doing more of this. The iconic Journeys flight, of course, will not end here. We'll have something new next time. Matthew, is it 1,909 miles? Fantastic. Those clouds have indeed started to roll in, haven't they? Shallow water. Lilac and teal in colour. Iron Not Panda, what series is next? To be decided. Oh, look at that. Look at the colour of the shoreline, the sands here. More red and brown rather than the normal beach colour. Dr. Magic, great fun, awesome to be part of it. Great to have you as always, Doctor. Matthew, that's what it's got in my video description. Well, that's straight from Wikipedia then, so it must be true. Duchet says the I-5 north to south. We're going to have to come away from the USA for the next one. We've obviously done several weeks in the USA for this. Donald says flying VFR and Microsoft Flight Simulator and flying in the DA40 is great fun. Your primary go-to GA. Well, this is the Diamond DV20, just a little steady, a little slower. I don't have to be quite as hands-on all the way through, which is good because I'm obviously following Google Maps to try and work out where on earth we are. Waterside Key Largo Vacation Home is, I think that's what we're just passing over right now. Well, actually, no, we passed that a little while ago. Dynamite Docks is apparently just here. Can't wait to see this private airfield. I'm not expecting great scenery, of course, from a little random private airfield, but if we actually see the words private in the runway, that is just gonna be the cream on the cake, isn't it? Oh, Dark, you've just spoilt it. There's no private on the runway. Well, never mind. Maybe they couldn't render it to that degree. Could be a windy landing though, looking at this. So does anyone know anything about this? What is it? Is it the Ocean Reef? Is that an exclusive, almost like gated community? Do you have to be exceedingly rich to live here? I mean, it's a community with its own private airport. I'm guessing you need some sort of deep pockets to be able to afford a place around here. Massive golf course just to the northwest of the airport. There's an anglers club down there as well. Clearly they don't get, I mean, we've not got great weather. We had beautiful weather, and do you know what? I now feel cold looking at this. It's those clouds have come in. HD, good evening. Your condo is just down there. HD, I don't think I've ever seen you on the I-95 flight. Welcome. You would like it down here, HD. I mean, you've got literally golf on your doorstep looking at this. Nick's just had a look. He says, damn, there is actually scenery for it, and it says private. Really? Douche, oh mate, thank you so much for your $10 donation. Douche also asks, what is the greatest number of planes you've seen land with me on one of these flights? I honestly can't remember. It's difficult to count. It really is. So I can't answer that question. There's been probably maybe 20, 30, maybe even more. The problem is that the simulator doesn't help, because when two aircraft get quite close together, it blocks one out, doesn't it? It becomes quite invisible. So yeah, difficult to tell, to be honest with you. Look at that. There was obviously a speedboat at some point, and it's got the wake in there. I was just having a look at the water. I thought that water looked really nice and neat. So alligators around here at all, do we reckon? Christian says HD's always been lurking on the I-95 flights, just looking at all the golf clubs. That wouldn't surprise me either, Christian. Right, I'm trying to find a windsock. Which way is the wind blowing? Yeah, community with its private airport. I mean, that is amazing. I still see no windsock. What's that? There's an aircraft there. Is that in the satellite imagery? Potentially. Right, well, we'll come out and then we'll come back in. Wish they'd do something about the sunken yachts. Sim update number 9 then on Tuesday, isn't it? Where's that airfield gone? There it is. LA Kid says you're in gator territory now. Make sure you've got a friend who runs slower than you. HD, this cockpit takes you back. There's no glass. Yeah. No glass cockpit, this one. See though, the difference HD for you is it not only takes you back to your training days. For the rest of us, it takes us back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 95. I would be interested in seeing the scenery that is available for this airfield. Love the fact it says private on it. Matthew says, you've never taught in the Diamond. The windows would make it insanely hot in the summer. That's true. That is another one of the reasons that I picked this aircraft for the for this series, just because you've got great visibility all around in this thing, which is nice, of course. Well, that's it. Our iconic journeys, Series 1, is complete. That has been great fun. And we've obviously seen and learned so many great things. And we've had so many of you flying with us as well. Week to week. Some of you have been here since the very start, others have joined along the way, and those of you as well that have been available have popped in and out during the flights. So many of us. It's what a great way to spend a Sunday night. And absolutely, this will not be the end of the series. It is going to continue with a new iconic route, and we'll have to wait and see what that is going to be. HD says, let's do a HD. We did that yesterday. Hello, Cargo Lux. That's random. Christian, it's not so private anymore. No. Oh, Cargo Lux is back. what? I don't think you get in there in real life, my friend. Oh, Mark says, thank you. Really enjoyed doing this. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one. Something different. We're not going to be in the USA, of course, for the next one, but I just want to say that when I first started this series, didn't know how popular it would be. Obviously, something very, very different to the norm that we do on the channel. Normally, everything is all serious and do things as realistically as we possibly can when flying the Airbus. But this was purely just about a fun stream on a Sunday night. Anyone could join in, and we got to enjoy Microsoft Flight Simulator for what it is, a fantastic representation of the world virtually. So hats off once again to Azobo for whatever faults you think the simulator may still have. Nothing comes close in the virtual flying world to what we've seen just here. So there will be another series to come. When that will start, I'm not 100% sure. I've got a couple more Sundays where I am going to be away, but keep tuned on our Discord server for that, and obviously we'll let you know when that will take place again. And of course, where we're going to be flying to and from, and what the next iconic journey will be. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting this this new venture over the last 18 weeks or so. Can't remember when the first episode was broadcast, but that's it. We've completed it. Series 1's complete, all the way from Canada down to the Florida Everglades, finishing at the end of the I-95. It's been great fun, and I can't wait for the next one. Hope you have all had a really good weekend. I'll look forward to catching you this week with more Real Ops live flights back in the Airbus. And yeah, it's a pleasure as always. Thank you so much to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during this episode today, and of course to the EasyJet and Pilot channel members. As always, thank you so much for your much valued support and contribution. I'll see you all again very soon. Whatever you're doing, hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Good night.